All right, guys, my name is Keon Brown. I'm the brand elevator. We are so excited to launch a new initiative today. It's our first day, Career Conversations. Career Conversations. I'm the director of our Kappa League program in Montclair, New Jersey. And, you know, I can talk to the Kappa Leaguers about a couple things, but there's a lot of things that I can't talk about. And so what better way to expose them to different careers and professions that are out there by putting together my friends and people that I know and on one call and allow them to answer questions and tell us about all the things that they do for a living and what their day-to-day is. I just think that's the best way to do it. So here we are, first time. I want to introduce Calvin Knie, Jason Spooner, William Basham, and our student on the call, Tyler Brooks. Let's start with Tyler. Tyler, introduce yourself, and then we'll go with the other
guys. How you guys doing? My name is Tyler Brooks. I'm from West Orange, New Jersey. I'm a graduating senior from West Orange High School, and I plan to be an actor for my career. My acting background, I've been in three musical productions, and one play. I've been a lead in one musical production for In the Heights, where I play the role of Graffiti Pete, and I've played the lead of Derry from the play Outsiders. People always tell me that I have a natural gift for acting, and when I hit the stage, it's just I'm electrifying, and like all the attention is shown to me, and I've really grown to believe that, and I've grown a very strong passion for acting, and I wish to and dream to be like a big movie star and just try to make a better life for myself and for my family, and just be an inspiration for all kids out there that anything is possible. That's just something I really want to do for myself and for my family.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for being on. Excited about, you and graduating and going to college and what's next for you. So I hope this is helpful for you and other Kappa Leaguers and other people that are listening tonight about acting as a profession and what you can expect. Let's just jump in. Let's start out with William Basham. William, thank you so much for being on, brother.
Hey, no problem.
I have to say for all the nukes that William is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Got to throw that in. This is a call.
Yo, free noobs.
Yo. Tell us a little bit about you. And guys, just mute your phones if you're not speaking. And William, go ahead.
All right, my name is William Basham, originally from Tacoma, Washington. I went to school in Seattle where I actually studied media and communications at the University of Washington. I moved to LA to pursue a dream in entertainment. At first, it wasn't necessarily acting, even though I always had a thing for acting. I started off doing radio, and I met with some really good acting instructors. And through them, I started taking classes, and then I just jumped straight into the auditioning process. My first audition I ever had in Hollywood, I had booked a role. So from there, I took that as like, yo, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. I thought I was on, but I mean, as any actor would know, there's ups and downs for sure. But it's definitely been a great process. I love it. And through the time when I'm not doing anything on screen or on set, I do write comedic sketches. I perform them either on stage or through social media so people can see them. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on.
Excellent. Thank you for being on. Let's go to Jason Spooner. Jason, thank you for being on.
Hey. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, my name is Jason Spooner, as he said. I live in Long Island, New York. I mostly do theater in New York. I've trained at Queensborough Community College and Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts. I think when I really started to gravitate towards acting is when first year at community college when I did a Midsummer's Night Dream Shakespeare. And that's what led me to London to keep furthering my knowledge in acting. So Shakespeare is like what I really hold on to and to what really pushes me. Whenever I'm not on the stage or in front of the camera, I'm usually being a PA. So I'm usually a production assistant for shows like Power, She's Got a Habit, and Quantico. I just try to make sure it's in everything I'm doing, and whether I'm working it or on stage or behind the stage, I'm learning and growing as an actor and a performer and a person. So that's what I do. Well, I also deliver food when I'm off, when I need some more money and there's no PA jobs, just so I could, get headshots and take classes and keep honing and working on my craft. So that's what I do.
Excellent. Thank you. Calvin Knie, the K is not silent. Calvin, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for jumping on. Uh,
Yeah, of course.
Tell us about you.
So yeah, my name's Calvin. I used to play professional tennis many years ago, and found my way to Susan Batson in New York, um, and kind of worked with her to see how it would help with tennis, with slipping into a role and all that kind of stuff. But kind of enjoyed finding out about the craft and about acting itself in the industry. So when I stopped playing about 5.5 years ago, I just packed my bags. I came to New York on a whim, and I've been lucky that I've had a couple of theater gigs in the beginning and booked some films which have been working out pretty well. There's one right now that's been doing pretty well. It's called Madonna and the Breakfast Club. Um, and yeah, on the side, I work with WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, and I'm their German commentator. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more to say, but I think we'll get to that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all again for jumping on, and anyone that is listening in, you can always send in questions with hashtag career convos, hashtag career convos, or you can send me a DM at Keon Brown. And, this is streaming live everywhere at the Brand Elevator. So when you guys are listening to the podcast, just, look up the Brand Elevator. You can see and hear more from me and the work that we do. So let's jump in. Calvin, I want to jump in with you because, the rumor has it that Madonna and the Breakfast Club docudrama is doing quite well, as it just was released very recently. Congratulations. Permission to give you a hand clap.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations on that. Tell us a little bit about the docudrama and what we can expect when we tune in.
So I got cast in this 2.5 years ago. Basically, the idea behind the film, it's a hybrid between a documentary and biopic. It's a little different than those crime shows that you see kind of actors just reenacting certain things that they're talking about, because there's separate scenes as well, and things like that. It's doing pretty well. It was released on March 12th. So what is that? 5 days ago. And we got up to #2 documentary on iTunes, which was great. And it basically just entails like the early days of Madonna in New York, finding her way into the music industry. And the guy basically responsible for that was her boyfriend at the time, Dan Gilroy, who I play. And yeah, it just kind of takes you through that journey up until she gets her first, record label. And so it's just interesting to see how she made it to where she was at. And it's a very humane painting of Madonna, which is, I think, something different than what we're used to.
Calvin, what is one thing that, if you can, what can you share that you were excited to learn or discover about what an icon in Madonna?
So to be honest, like I never really was too into Madonna before that. Not that I disliked her. It was never anything that interested me in any way. I think that the thing that was mostly interesting to me was how much she branded herself and how eager she was at that, but how much her passion took her through that. So at that point, this is 79, 80, like she was on the phone every day, calling agents, calling managers, calling venues, whomever, basically constantly putting herself out there. And she kind of figured out what image she wanted to be, what message she wanted to send with what she understood about herself and about the world, basically, or how she saw it at least. And that I think was great, and that kind of speaks to her intelligence specifically. And so I thought that was just very interesting because, like I said, she hasn't necessarily been painted in the nicest light in the last couple of years or decades that she's been around. And yeah, so that I think was very interesting to kind of see and learn about.
Indeed. Thank you, Calvin. We'll jump back to you in a moment. I want to jump over to William. William, you are are gaining a lot of traction on social media, YouTube, and Instagram. How is that, and how did you fall into, or how did you discover social media as a way to show your acting skills?
Yeah, with social media, I've always been a goofball. That's just kind of my claim to fame, is just the funny guy who was always situationally just telling jokes. That's actually how I got on the radio in LA. I was cracking jokes at the gym, and somebody asked me to come sit in on a radio show, and it turned into me sitting in to me being a host. But but yeah, as far as jokes go, I've always like had these ideas in my head, like, yo, this would be funny if, this would be funny if. And I was like, how can I find a way to get this out there? I'm in Hollywood, there's so much media, but I'm not getting what I want, you know. So I'm like, you know, I see all these people posting stuff on social media. So I contacted a few people I know who did that, a couple of stand-up comics, and I was like, yo, I'm interested in sharing some of my ideas out there. So I worked with them. I learned how to. I had an idea of how to edit, but I had to learn, you know, angles and how to shoot my own stuff. So I kind of watched people who were doing it, and I was also jumping into their stuff. And through it, I learned how to like start doing it on my own. So then I started finding my ways to put out my content and get it out there, you know, through any time that I'm not either on stage or, you know, performing on set. Because I always want to be seen doing something. I don't like being, you know, stagnant. So that's how social media came about. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Jason, I want to segue into, because you've done a lot of production. You mentioned Power and a couple other programs. How do you use your acting chops or your skill set even while you are working behind the scenes as a PA or whatever work you do behind the scenes? How do you kind of bridge the two?
Okay, well, I bridge the two because when you get on set, you have to have, like, as they say, set etiquette. What you have to have as an actor, like, you know, when to come on stage, where your marks, like they call first team or second team. First team's usually for the actors to come on the set and to work on the camera work. Second team is like the replacements. So I learned that while being on set, and I've also learned basically what the director needs. Honestly, it's more so about the director putting you somewhere and placing you, and you bringing those type of emotions for this one scene. You could be gone for the whole day. So it's just, I feel I learned how to really hone on my craft and how to really push myself and realize that it's a collaborative effect. You know, it's everybody looking good and everybody putting something into this film or into this TV show for this special or whatever. So that's what I learned being on set.
Excellent. Thank you. Let me jump over to Tyler. Tyler, do you have any question that you want to jump in with?
Most definitely. My number one question is, I don't know how to get started with this career. Like, my last production was this past November, in the beginning of November, and since then I've just been stuck, just not knowing what to do and just unsure about how do I get started to chase my dream.
Great question. Let's start with Calvin, then William, and then Jason, if you want to add in.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the toughest question that you can ask for that. But it's to me, it's finding out what intrigues you the most about it, and then what you want to do, and then figuring out you know, how to network with those kinds of people. So knowing what industry, what niche specifically you want to get into. And to me, like, for example, what I did was I just looked up a bunch of seminars in New York City, whatever they were, whether it was for casting directors, agents, managers. There's a few on Actors Connection is one of the ones that I used. There was one called the Actors Green Room, which I think was fine. And even at the Susan Batson studio, they had a lot of, like, you could audition for, like, industry, what do you call them? Like, industry guests. So again, the agents, managers, casting directors, whomever. And so I just kind of got to meet those people and, you know, kept bothering them about my stuff and sending them resume or trying to get into auditions. And eventually, you know, you got called in, or I ended up finding my manager through one of those things, and then ended up going out to auditions that way. And, you know, just kind of started building up that field around the people that I knew I wanted to be around, and that, you know, I knew would kind of get me into the direction where I wanted to go. So I think that's really the main thing. It's a weird process in the beginning because it can feel really frustrating, because you kind of don't know where to start. But the thing is, like, seeing if there's anybody that you look up to, or anybody that is in a place that you would want to go, and kind of starting to like hang on to that a little bit and seeing what they did and seeing how they got there.
William, did you want to add anything?
Yeah. I will say this, like, for me, for certain people it's different because you have people who, they're going on to gain further training before they jump into this field. Me, I kind of hit it with just like, I'm in a space where I'm in a place where I can do this. Like, I'm in Los Angeles, and it's like, well, it's so many people doing it, but you have people that have been training for years and years, and I didn't necessarily have those experiences. However, I carried, the attitude or just a natural talent because I used to dance, so I'm able to take direction, and I just kind of, learned as I went. But definitely hone in on the craft, I would say. So if you really want to do this, find a school that, will help you become better. You can maybe even check out some community theater where you can actually go in, try to get into some stage plays, and find ways to just help you become better at it. And then through that, everything naturally will start coming to you. Like, it's like the guy was saying about like agents and management. There's showcases that you can look up. So you can maybe find a showcase that's going on, try to audition for it, see if you can sign up, see if you can get in front of these people who can excel your career. And that's always that's the best way to go about it, I would say. Social media is a big thing. If you want to, people are mixed about this because I know the real theater heads don't really approve of the social media world, but it's just kind of how you take it. Because a lot of people, like for me, I do social media, I do acting through social media and on screen, but I'm always focused on like studying, like the theater, the screenplay. Like I'm always looking, trying to write and trying to find ways to get better. I don't want to be known as being the internet guy. I want to be respected as an actor. So if that's really what you do, if that's really what you would want to do, you got to really focus on the craft, I would say. But yeah, that's what I got for that.
Thank you, William. Jason, the question that was asked is, hey, how do you get started into the acting world if you're starting from scratch? That was our question from our Kappa Leaguer on the line. Jason, what say you?
Okay, I would kind of piggyback off what Calvin said. Just what interests you the most. You have to really find out what type of film or theater interests you the most. Are you interested in shows Game of Thrones? Are you interested in shows like Insecure? You got to really find out what's your path and what you really like, and kind of find out the casting directors and everything for that show where you can kind of talk to somebody and really find out what's your niche, what type of acting you really like, what genre you like. And then after that, I would say try to go to a school because you really need a foundation when it comes to acting. I don't believe anyone just going on screen or going on stage. You got to have some type of training to know what you're doing, or to know what you're doing. So kind of just like go to the library and just look up some playwrights, some famous like Stanislavski. He's a famous acting method teacher. There's so many classes around New York you could take, man. I just stay grounded too. Stay grounded in what you really want to do. If it's really what you want to do, just stay grounded and work on it daily. And something will happen if you just keep working on it. Honestly. And I think that'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I was looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics from the United States Department of Labor. Right, in 2017, the median pay for an actor was $17.49 per hour, and it says typical entry-level education, some college, no degree. Let me see. In 2016, gross salary was $63,800. What do you say to these type of statistics? How does it relate to your life and what you know to be true? And what can you say to speak to some young people who may be interested in pursuing this as it relates to sustaining life and being, taking care of themselves? We'll go order Calvin, William, Jason Spooner.
Yeah, I mean that's really the harshest truth about the business is that there's not a lot of money when you start off with, and there can be not a lot of money for a while. So that's why that passion part is so important, because it'll get you through those years. When I started, I just I worked at a restaurant, and that's all I could do. I was lucky to end up getting this gig at WWE, which freed me up scheduling wise and gave me a financial, um, grounding basically in financial stability. But yeah, it's tough. And so the only thing you can do is say like, okay, this is really what I want to do, and I'm ready to like, you know, put in a lot of hours and work late nights, so I can afford to be able to do this.
Excellent. William?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Yeah, I will say, yeah, financially it can definitely be a mishap. I was fortunate enough when I moved to Los Angeles. I got a job working for a medical company overnight, which benefited me because it allowed me to be able to hold myself financially, but then also be able to keep my days open to be able to audition, to be able to show up to showcases, to events where I can meet people. So I mean, everybody's journey is definitely going to be different. So I don't, as far as the statistics go, I can't really, call those numbers. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's if you have to be really passionate about it. Because if you're not, you're just going to really waste a lot of time. Because you'll go to auditions, you'll be training, you're doing things. Next thing you know, years will go by, you haven't gotten what you wanted, but it's because maybe you were chasing the wrong thing. A lot of people chase fame, and they need to actually chase what they're passionate about, not just being famous, but if you want to be an actor, actually being good at what you do. So that's what I'll say on that.
Thank you. Brother Spooner.
What's up? I would say, yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. That's why I started being a PA, because I wanted to be behind the camera and learn, but also because it's hard finding a job. You go out there, you could audition as many times as you want a week, and you may not even get a call back. So you really have to find out why you really love it and push towards it every day. And you may have to, not everyone does this, but you may have to find a side job. I do delivery because I can make my own schedule. Me making my own schedule allows me to work anytime I want, and if I have an audition coming up, I can go to that and leave, and I can still, deliver on the bike, deliver some food, and make some good money a day, But just make sure you find out why you love it. Just make sure you really just find out why you love it and let it drive you, because if you really push forward something that you really want, it'll come true. So just find that, and if you have to get a job, just get a job, man. Just get a job. It doesn't matter.
Thank you for that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, if you have another question for the panel.
Well, I was just thinking, is it easy to find auditions online, or do I need like an inside source in the city to let me know that, like an agent or something like that?
Anybody can jump in for that one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can start off with that. It's there are sites. So you have Actors Access. That's one of them, and Backstage is another one that's used a fair amount. I think it's a good place to start. I think as it was mentioned before, there are community theaters and there are other theater companies that you can always just go to and see if they're casting anything. So those are the things that you can do on your own. No doubt, it makes it easier to have an agent or have a manager at some point, but it's not necessary to start off with. So if you wanted to start off with by yourself, those are the things you can do. And then, if you go to those showcases, you go to those seminars that have been talked about, and then you can find somebody who represents you, and they take care of that for you.
Yeah, I guess just piggybacking off that, I know over here we have LA Casting, but I think as a whole it's called Casting Network. So that's one of those sites you can go on, and they have jobs that you can submit to. I think he was mentioning Actors Access, Backstage. Those are also really great places. You can go and you can sign up for those. You can look in, and it'll literally break down different descriptions of jobs that you may want to go out for, and they're catered to whatever it is you are. So you can put in what you are, like how you look, whatever your age range is, and those type of things. So you'll get pushed into the path of whatever it is you're trying to go for, hopefully. Having an agent is definitely good, but you're not just going to get an agent if they don't know who you are. So you do need to take steps on your own. And unless you're just, you're lucky or somebody got a referral, but there's definitely a process behind it. But yeah, if you can just get on those sites, and I think that's a good starting point. Oh, I'll also say this, doing background work too. There's I don't know what it is in New York. I know over here they do background. They have sites for background work where you can just show up to set and kind of learn what it's like to actually be on set. I think the guy was talking about doing PA work. Like you can show up, they just may have you walking around, but really just watch what's going on the set and kind of learn the process, how the directors are moving, you know, how the actors are what they're doing, and just really study it as you yeah.
Thank y'all. Got a question. Elijah Peppers from Brooklyn says, I wanted to know what types of jobs would be best while getting acting training. We were just talking about that. I'm taking classes, but it's difficult because I can't work as much as I need to train consistently. So what could folks be doing? What other kind of jobs? What can they be doing in preparation for getting an agent or elevating their brand or really getting to the next level? What are some other things that they can do to get started? Calvin?
Yeah, sure. I'll jump on this one, and then you guys are going to have to excuse me. I'm going to have to jump off afterwards because I got to get back to my family in a bit. But so what I think has been said before is like there's jobs that give you somewhat of a flexible schedule. So for me, to be honest, it was a catering company that was a restaurant. And that was one thing that I, knew gave me enough flexibility. I think the restaurant thing is such a common job in the acting industry. I had a few friends who even did Ubering if they lived in areas where, they needed a car. So I knew that was an option. But yeah, to be honest, I think working in any food industry kind of is a flexible enough schedule, and you can kind of work around that.
Calvin, before you jump off, I want to, and I'll get to the rest of the guys. Thank you for that. I'm going to jump right in before you go.
Yeah.
Passion and rejection. So start out with rejection. What comes up for you when you experience rejection? How you get through rejection, and then go right into how does one discover their passion? How do we discover that?
I mean, to be honest, rejection-wise, it happens all the time, and I was a little bit lucky because I was exposed to it so much in tennis because you lose all the time. But that's basically what's going to happen over and over again in the industry, and that's why the passion part is so important. That's why I talked about it before. It's like you figure out why you do it, and there's something that you know about yourself and about how you feel in this world that nobody else knows, or that nobody else can ever feel that way. And if you kind of find a way to hone into that and to do something with that, it makes the rejection a little bit easier. For me, the only thing that has helped me a little bit is acknowledging the rejection and acknowledging the fact that I'm hurt by it. So if I put in a ton of work for an audition, or I put in a ton of work for a part, or whatever it is, and it didn't go the way that I wanted it to, it's just kind of like saying okay, well, it really sucks. But it also allows me to move on and to get back to the passion. So I don't kind of sit in that limbo state in between where it's just a really awkward feeling. So yeah, I think that kind of sums it up for me.
Thank you, Calvin. As you step off, congratulations on your new project, Madonna and the Breakfast Club. You guys watch that. It's number 2 right now. We want to make sure that it gets to number 1 and support you. So congratulations on that. Thank you.
That would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was great.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to William. William, can you talk about rejection and then passion? How you handle rejection, and then how do you translate that into your passion and to push through?
Yeah, rejection is definitely a tough thing. I'll be honest, growing up, I was very gifted in the athletic department, so I wasn't really told no a lot. I wasn't really the guy who didn't make the team. But I was always the guy who worked hard. So no matter what I was doing, I busted my tail to do it. Now, getting into acting, I'm getting told no far more than I'm getting told yes. But just, and it was something that was a lot different from what I'm used to. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of my driven, I guess you can say my passion behind it is I love acting. But when people tell me no, it's how can I get better? There's a reason why they said that. There's a reason why something. It's always been knowing that I can do something different or find a different outlet or find something. So I guess my passion is driven by, it's driven, I guess, strictly just by the rejection. when you reject me, it's like, okay, bam, next time you see me, I'm gonna be 10 times better. And I own into that. It's like, how can I study? What can I do? What can I learn? Who can I learn from? Okay, I saw the person who did get that job. They were great. Okay, but how can I be on that level? Or maybe it was this. You know, there's so many things that go into it. But I guess rejection truly is my driven power in my passion towards acting. Besides just loving, you know, being able to tell stories through the eye of the lens or on stage. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, how I handle rejection. Actually, how I handle rejection is just it puts me to where I need to be and pushes me a little more forward to my dream. When I handle rejection, like if I go to an audition and say I don't get the role, and I know I went in there with the best me I can be, then I'm fine. You know, Michael B. Jordan, whenever he leaves an audition room, he says he throws the script out or the sides he got. The sides are lines he's supposed to receive and work on it with, I guess, a casting director in the room. He throws them out once he leaves the audition room. And I believe in that because it's out of my hand now. I gave the best I can do to that audition. So now it's up to the casting director and God is what goes next. So I just, rejection is if I get it or not, I don't really, it doesn't really matter much to me as long as I put my best foot forward and I push through and I just keep achieving and going and really pushing for my goal and what I really want to be, an actor. So rejection just pushes me to, do more.
Excellent. Thank you guys for that. And we're closing in a moment. I'm just so excited for us to kind of really transition into the passion conversation and also the how do we handle rejection conversation, because this skill is cross transferable, right? Not just for acting, but also in life, right? So people say, well, how can I discover what I'm passionate about? I don't know what I'm passionate about. And that's kind of why we started this kind of program, this career conversation, because a lot of young people do not know, grown people don't know what they want to do in their lives and what brings them passion. It starts with think about the things that you like to do, and that you would do even if you didn't get paid. Explore the things that you love to do and things that come easy to you. That's one thing that you can do to discover your passion. What do you love? What comes easy to you? Also, ask yourself what qualities you enjoy expressing most in the world, right? So for me, I like to serve. I live to serve. I love talking to people. I love inspiring and motivating. So I'm passionate about that. Thereby, I can do that for free. I can do that on the subway in New York City. I can do that on the street corner to strangers. I can do that in a school full of young people. Wherever I go, I can use what I'm passionate about to fuel whatever my what's next is. One thing that I want to encourage everyone to do at some point, we're doing this in Capital League, create a life purpose statement. Create a life purpose statement. Mine is inspiring and empowering people to live the highest version of themselves, right? That is a statement that I say to myself over and over again to get myself clear about what my purpose is and what I'm passionate about. And so when I go into a meeting with someone that I might not like, or I go into an environment that I might not be comfortable, I ground myself in my passion and my purpose, and that gives me kind of the oomph or the push to step out powerfully into whatever I have to do next. And I also want to say, as I get back to the panel, asking for and being available to receive support. Asking for, then being available to receive support. It's very important. So many people do not know how to ask for support. Support is not, I think it's different from asking for help. Yo, I need help. And then somebody's like, well, I don't got no money to give you. But if I say I need support, it could be many, many things. I might need an encouraging word. I might need some advice on how to get to the next level of my career. I might just need a hug, So being able to ask for the support, and then when people are all around you ready to give you support, are you available to receive it? Are you battling with pride and ego? Are you, standoffish? Do you think you're less than because you feel like you can't do it? So you have to ask somebody for some support? All those things people really battle with. And so I think as we look to elevate our personal brands, asking for support and then being available to receive the support can really, really support you. I want to go back to William. William, what do you think about that? Asking for support and also being available, having yourself available to receive support.
Yeah, I guess that's actually something I kind of struggle with on my own. Is always asking because I feel like I've reached a point like in my career where I have access to a lot of people who have support both financially and just with far more knowledge and experience that I have. And it's like, how do I approach this person about asking for something? Because like you just said, you don't want to be like, yo, I need some money. Yo, can you just have that casting director see me? Or yo, can you versus ask them, yo, what are ways you can support me in a way that'll excel my career, not so much to where I feel like I'm using you or you feel like I'm using you, but in a way that like I'm working, I can better myself through that process. So I guess yeah, that's still something I'm learning on my own. Going through this.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, brother. Jason, did you have anything to add?
Asking for support, I would say, like, I struggle with asking for support, but when I do, it humbles me when I ask for support, because it makes me see what I really need to do, and everyone has an answer that I might need, so I need to just be open and willing to learn. So ask for support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I also just want to add in hearing William, the share, man, being able to communicate shared value with people is so important, right? Because I follow all the people on the call, like I follow all you guys, and I see what you're doing. And I reached out to William and said, "Yo, would you just jump on this call? I mean, I'm not able to pay, but will you just jump on here and just share your experience and really just hopefully somebody's gonna hear it and learn from you and go out there and be a great actor because they heard a nugget from you, and you jumped on." So it's like you could have said, "No, I get paid for this. I have other things to do. I'm out and about. I can't really do that." But being clear about the shared value, what you're providing those individuals that you're actually kind of concerned about, reaching out to, it's like, yo, what do I get out of this? What are you providing? Or how are you being valuable to these individuals? I hope that makes sense. So if there's people that have money or have status or have resources or they have contacts, you don't want to be a taker, right? Nobody wants to be a taker, right? I think if you give first, not just of your resources, think about your time, think about your energy, think about, are you just texting me to get something from me? Are you texting me to make sure I'm doing okay? Are you checking in with me? Are you saying, how are you doing? Have a great week. Just thinking about you today. I'm trusting that you'll have a great week and hope to see you soon. That right there would have me, look at your profile again, check in with you and see what's going on with you, and then ask you, William, how can I support you? Right. So I want people to get that whoever those people are in your life, even if you don't know them, we all follow people on Instagram. I think there's a power in being in the DMs. You can get trapped in the DMs, or you can use the DMs to your advantage to gain, familiarity and trust with people that you love, admire, and respect. So the task is for everyone on the call and everyone that's listening, something that I learned from an influencer in the planet. Look, go into the DMs for people that you love, admire, and respect. You want to do a couple things. You want to acknowledge them. William, Jason, you're like incredible. Love what you're doing. Keep achieving. I look to collaborate with you on something, but I want to know how I can support you, right? So first you're acknowledging them for what they're doing and why you admire them. And then there is an ask, right? Or a request for collaboration or a future casting of working with you in the future. And then maybe you come back and say, hey, I'm doing this. What's possible for collaboration with this? Okay? So that's the task for anybody that's listening, right? Think about it. Do it a couple times. Do 20 a day. Go in and acknowledge folks. That's how you gain more followers if that's what you're looking for. You're not just following back. I'll follow you, you follow me. Like, nah. I want to acknowledge you for who you are. I want to tell you how much of an impact you're making on my life. I want to collaborate with you. And then here's the project that I'm thinking that we can do something together. What's possible? Now that is authentic. That shows your passion. And you're just not a regular fan trying to be thirsty and get something. You're actually adding value, and then you're making a request. Does that make sense?
I agree on that 100.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
All right, excellent, man. So I want to give Tyler another opportunity to say something, and then we'll give everyone our last word, and then we'll conclude. Tyler, anything from you?
Most definitely. I'm really blown away right now with this advice and the words that you guys are giving me right now. This is like so humbling for me, and gives me like that spark of hope that I really needed to get back at this acting career and just get started. It just makes me really excited. Um, I feel like I'm really prepared for the journey that lies ahead. I know I don't take this gift that God has given me for granted because it doesn't come often, and there's a lot of people out here that's trying to pursue this career. So I'm really I'm really looking forward to getting at it and just giving it my best. Because if I give my best foot forward, nobody can take anything from me. And I really do believe I could be something big one day, and I know I will be something big one day. And I just appreciate the advice. I've been taking notes, and I'm definitely gonna pursue this advice that you guys have given me and put my best foot forward. And I promise you that your time has not gone to waste. I will really take your advice and use it, and I know this will help me in my career. And I appreciate each and every one of you for taking out your time to help me out. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Kappa League or Montclair Kappa League. I'm so grateful for Tyler and his heart and his passion. And you're going to be successful because, number one, you've spoken it. You have a dream. You're speaking the dream. You're believing what you say. And you're doing the due diligence and research and training to have it happen. So it's not by chance. It's not by circumstance. You're in the right place at the right time. You could be anywhere on the planet right now on a Sunday evening, and you're right here getting information and doing what you got to do. And that is why you'll be successful. So thank you for jumping on. I'm going to give final words to William and then Jason, and then I'm going to close it out. William.
Well, for starters, I'm going to say, Tyler, definitely stay in Kappa League. Kappa Alpha Psi has definitely made a huge impact in my life and, the things that I do today. So definitely listen to what the guys got to say because we're sharing good knowledge, and they definitely help you to achieve. But then also, I also want to say, Keon, thank you for definitely reaching out to me. And like you said, about the whole collaborating thing, I think that's a definitely positive way. I noticed you had reached out to me, and I was like, yo, this guy, he's on to something. He's also a fellow member of my brother. I'm always looking out for a brother. But yeah, there's that. I don't know if I can. If some of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is William Basham. My Instagram name is It's William Basham. So you can definitely check out, see the work that I'm doing on social media, then also the work that I have coming out. Yeah, and thank you guys for having me on this call.
Thank you, William. Jason Spooner.
Yo, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate this call. Keon, William, thank you. And Tyler, thank you. Thank you for what you just said, man, because sometimes, I was taking this call and I wasn't sure as what I would, get myself into. But I feel like it's really resonated with you, and I feel like you really want to go forward with acting, and I really appreciate that, man. And just really kind of envision it. That's what really helps me out, envisioning myself on the stage or in front of the screen, and put it everywhere you go, man. When you wake up in the morning, it's on your phone. Make sure you kind of see acting, see where you want to be. Put some goals up, something that inspires you. Make that in around your room, some posters, and really go forward with it, man. I believe in you, and I know you'll go far because you sound like you got a good head on your shoulders, man.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for the spending time here. Calvin Knie, K is not silent. William Basham and Jason Spooner, thank you for being on. Tyler, thank you for being active and being here. And thank you to everybody that's on the call and listening worldwide. You guys can follow us at The Brand Elevator, thebrandelevator.com. And shout out to the Montclair Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated and the Montclair Kappa League. We are doing these career convos to support people, support young people, support people in learning more about careers that are out there. And look, as we heard today, acting is the point, but there's so many other things that you can be doing, whether it's PAing, delivering food, doing whatever it is, being in action around your passion and what you love. So keep up the good fight. The journey continues, and your best is yet to come. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Night.
Good night.